All right, looks like we are live. Let's just double check here real quickly. Refresh the page. See if we got any onlookers. We call them looky loos.
Would you
Yes,
like
we
me
are
to?
live. Awesome, awesome, awesome. So, hey, first off, thanks, Joanne, for joining me live. Appreciate you popping in here. If you're watching this and you see that red live button up there in the top left-hand corner as you're watching, feel free to join thelosttransition.com/live if you'd like to join us live. I'm going to be doing a question and answer after I do this live demonstration. But before I do this live demonstration, it's important for everybody to kind of know and understand who I am and what we're doing here today, right? If you will. So, a little bit about my background, especially if you're brand new to my channel or we're new to friends. My name is Robert Blakely. I'm known online as the Blakester. I got that nickname when I was in the military from some of my upper level echelon, call them managers, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, the name stuck with me, and ultimately it was because I was a make shit happen kind of soldier. I had my boots were all shiny and my uniform was all pressed. I was a model soldier, but before that, I started my life at the very early age of 16 years old, delivering newspapers. And that was at the early age that I kind of learned a little bit about, working for myself. Right after that, I went on to work for McDonald's, got a taste of the 9 to 5. And I quickly found out how I wasn't really attracted to the 9 to 5 as much as I was to being an independent business owner or working for myself, so to speak, right? Fast forward, I went into the military for 5 years, learned a lot about leadership development. In between all of those years, before the military, I'd done telemarketing, worked my way up into management into several different companies. Ultimately, I've done just sales most of my life, minus that 5 years. When I got out of the military, I was just telling the story earlier on a phone call with a new friend of mine. When I got out, I was looking for a job. And what had happened was I opened up the paper. You remember those newspapers that we used to look at back in the day? And I saw something in there that talked a little bit about writing your own paycheck. And I was intrigued, right? So what I ended up doing is I went and I set up an interview. And I remember sitting across the desk from this guy, and he was telling me that it was direct marketing. I said, well, what is that? What is direct marketing? He said, oh, well, that's where we go door to door. We knock on people's doors and actually go talk to people. At this point in time, a lot of people would probably cringe. If you were on Eric Worre's training earlier today, it was kind of funny hearing him say that he would break out in hives if he had to go knocking doors. I did that for 20 years, my friends. So, that being said, they say that, 2 to 4 years of direct marketing is the equivalent of a college education. I did that for over 20 years. So I feel I've got a master's in that. But that's where I learned a lot about writing my own paycheck, right? And being more of an entrepreneur and working for myself and, being able to dictate more of my time. So fast forward, I was given this presentation and I was told to learn the presentation verbatim. That's what they told me. And what had happened was I went home and I did what I like to call short-term pain. I didn't go out partying or drinking or having fun or anything like that. And I took the time to learn this presentation. I took the time to learn it verbatim as I was instructed. And part of my hiring process was I had to prove that I knew that presentation, right? If you didn't know the presentation, you weren't hired. It's kind of one of those things where you had to prove yourself, right? So, long story short, I did my presentation. They were like, wow, hey, you did your homework, you're hired. So when I went to work the next day, we started this journey, I'll call it. They told me, they said, all we want you to do is say that presentation in front of everyone that you talk to. Okay. Don't deviate from it. Don't go throwing in all these extra words and doing all this extra nonsense. So I did exactly what they told me to do because I was very studious. right? I was very coachable. And I found out that by doing this said presentation that I would go out and I would talk to people, that I would close about 50% of the people that I would talk to. This is where I truly understood how to write your own paycheck and pay close attention. So what this means is this is that back when we were doing this, we were making $10 per customer that said yes. So we were pretty excited back in the day to make $100 per day, right? Nowadays, $100 a day isn't that much, but we were excited when we were able to do it. So we learned how to write our own paycheck. And I found out that if I wanted to have 10 sales closing at 50% of the people that I talked to, that meant I had to talk to 20 people. That meant I had to knock on somebody's door that I didn't know, a complete stranger, talk to at least 20 people per day. And guess what? 10 of them would tell me no. Okay. So at that point, I learned very early to have thick skin in the game. I learned that no wasn't something that was there that was intentionally meant to hurt me or to break my spirit or to break my soul or to make me want to cry and quit. It was nothing like that, right? It was more so learning more knowledge and more of a skill set on how to combat those no's. So what happened was that I took those and I went back to my mentor and I said, well, I got told no. Oh, well, there was some role play involved. They said, well, what did they say? And I would tell them, it's, oh, well, that one's easy. This is how you overcome that objection. This might be the language that everybody's familiar with. And I learned how to overcome these objections. And when I did this and improved on my skill set and was better at my communication skills, I found out that I was able to close more people and I had to talk to less of them. So my closing percentages went from 50% to 70 to 80 to 90 to where eventually I was closing 100% of the people that I talked to. Now, some of you guys that might be watching this replay might think that I'm full of shit. I dare you, I was not, and I'm not ever have been full of shit. I did it and I did it for a long period of time. Even now to this day, my closing percentages run anywhere from 90 to 95%. Part of that reason is because of what I've learned in my experience, communication skills, the specific skill set on how to specifically tailor your order and speak to people in such a fashion, ask them direct questions that need to be asked in order for you to get the solution. So that's a bit about my background. I've been in sales and marketing for 38 plus years. I've built multiple teams offline and online, and I've taught people how to have these same type of communication skills and also how to teach them how to get less no's, how to teach people how to overcome those objections in advance so that you don't hear no, right? So that's a little bit about my background. And what I didn't like was the fact that knowing all this information, right, I thought first off that it was easy for me to transition from the world that I was living in into this network marketing world, right? And I thought it would be super easy because I was closing at 100% of the people that I talked to, right? So who would say no to me? I just go online and do the same thing, right? Super simple. Eh, big mistake, right? Um, I don't want to really say that it was my ego that got in the way because I didn't really have an ego, but it was a completely different environment, right? Just like telemarketing is different than direct marketing, there's just a different facet that comes with the way that you market, right? So learning these different styles of marketing has helped me. But what I didn't like is the fact that I failed so miserably. And then in order for me to find a coach or something that I needed to be able to help me get to where I wanted to be, I had to find a mentor. And although I'm appreciative and thank God I did find that mentor, but I had to pay like I think it was 1,200 bucks. That might seem like, oh my God, that's a lot of money. But really, in the grand scheme of things, it's not, right? if you have somebody that's going to be able to give you that piece of information or that piece of the puzzle that's going to unlock the rest of everything that you have. So long story short, I sucked it up. I found the money. In fact, I actually borrowed the money from an ex-girlfriend of mine at the time. Told her I'd pay her back in a specific amount of time. Long story short, I did not pay her back in that specific amount of time, but I did pay her back, right? It was once I started making more money online, I was able to pay her back. But as I progressed through, this whole internet marketing thing and understanding branding and all these different little pieces and components, learning the tool suites that were most important was really pivotal to me. I say that because as a kid growing up, I was that kind of person that would sit there and I would take things apart just to see how they worked, right? So that was my mission when I came online, was to take this entire thing apart, pick it apart piece by piece, and figure out how it all works. But at the same time, for myself, that I had learned all this stuff, I didn't want to go in and then try to pretend or claim that I was some kind of guru and charge this high ticket price or anything crazy like that, right? So I'm very respectful with everything that I do. Everything that I am trying to do now, even in this video, isn't for my own benefit. Okay, I truly live by the model of Zig Ziglar that you can have everything in life that you want if you help enough others get what they want. I say this from my heart because I do this from the heart because I don't have to, right? Those of my friends and dear colleagues that are close to me know that I do this for the loving, not for a living, right? And I teach and say this all the time, and I'm positive that you will agree with me that when it comes to this network marketing world, affiliate marketing, it's a complete cluster. Beep. It's completely backwards. The way that I teach it is that we're taught backwards, right? We're taught to get into this network marketing thing. We're taught, hey, we can make some money here. But then most of us sadly don't have the skill set that we need to be able to have success in this arena. In fact, that's why there's such a high failure rate. It's like 96 to 98% of the people fail. Most of that failure, though, comes from a few different things, right? Number one, from the lack of the knowledge, first off, and the skill set. And then secondly, the tools, right? So as I was growing and I learned about this and learned about this thing called the website and learned about that being my hub and all this stuff, I started building my own websites, started learning more about these different tool suites that were available and understanding how branding came into the entire picture on everything, right? So about 16 months ago, I was approached by a dear friend of mine who sadly passed away back in December, and he introduced me to this tool suite. And when he came to me the first time, we had just established a connection together. The great thing was he was prior military, I was prior military, so we really bonded quite quickly. And in fact, we bonded so quickly that we became best friends, and he became one of my greatest students that I'd ever had. So that being said, he approached me the first time, and he approached me kind of spammy, like, hey, I want you to check this out. And he made me feel like I was a number, right? And nobody wants to feel like they're a number. So there's a certain skill set that you keep hearing me allude to, and there's a certain way to treat people and teach people how to treat others. So the first time he came to me, I told him, I said, dude, you didn't come to me correct. And I told him no. I shot him down, right? And he came back about a week later, and I'm grateful that he did. And part of the conversation that I left out so far is that I had already had a tool suite. And I was grandfathered in with this tool suite. I was paying, I don't, it wasn't even 30 to 40 bucks for all the bells and whistles and ding dongs and doorknobs and everything that I needed. So I didn't really think that I needed this tool suite until I saw what it was, till I saw what it was capable of. And at the time, I felt so overwhelmed with everything that I had taken on, with all my responsibilities and my different internet marketing programs and the things that were my tools and all this other stuff, that I was at that point that I was ready to hire like a VA, a virtual assistant, because I knew I needed help. I knew I couldn't do it alone, right? That was the biggest aha moment that I really had. So this was the solution that I ended up finding was through my dear friend Brett. And that company is called NowSite. Okay. So I want to give you a quick demonstration on how NowSite can help you using artificial intelligence to build your business. But before I get into that, I need you all to know exactly what happened. Like, what was the background? Where did all this come from? Why did this transpire? That's why I had to tell you this story. So I trust that I didn't bore you with it and that you'll find some value in it, right? How I feel about the future moving forward with this is just so dynamic. And I've never felt so secure within myself, within my tool suite, within everything that I have now, because what I would do or what it would take me to do, let's say 18 months ago, to create an entire campaign, a funnel, an email drip system, with 10 or plus more email campaigns, it would take me weeks. It literally would take me weeks. As to where now I can get these same types of things done within the matter of hours or even days. So what it's done for me most of all, it's given me back time freedom. It's giving me back the time to go be able to sit out in the living room with my wife, go play video games, go play with the dog, go do what I want, right? So I've been able to use these tools now to minimize my work day so that I'm not having to be out here online for 8, 10, 12 hours a day like I and probably many of you guys now watching are doing, right? I set up what I need to set up. I create my campaigns. I put my information out there and I let the systems do the work. Another big thing that I teach is that once you have your systems in place, all it is after that is having conversations. If you truly want to win at this network marketing thing, is it's having conversations. But again, it's important to have the right tools, right? And I've said this time and time again with the monthly boot camps that I run. You can make money online with any affiliate program. And in fact, you can take any business for the most part, and you can get into profit within 30, 60 to even 90 days if you know what you're doing, if you have the right skill set. Can you make more money if you have the right tools and the right skill set? Absolutely. You can look at pretty much like 10xing, if not more. Right? But the problem there lies in what I was saying earlier is that we're all taught backwards. We're not taught how to sell. Many times people come to me and they're like, "Well, Robert, I'm not a born salesman like you." And I say, "Well, you've been selling since birth. You've been selling since birth, right? Maybe you didn't take the same path that I did and stayed into the sales arena for as many years as I did, but you've still been selling since birth." And the other way that I like to attribute this so that everybody really gains clarity in what I'm explaining to you in training so that you get these gold nuggets that I'm dropping, right? Is that you've been selling since birth, right? And the big thing is that we've kind of been taken away from that old golden rule. And I'm not trying to be spiritual on you guys or anything like that, but it's ask and you shall receive. So many people are afraid to ask nowadays, especially because they're so used to receiving those no's, right? But if we can give you the right tool suite, give you the right knowledge and the right skill set, and teach you to get away from those no's, then obviously you'll get there a lot quicker. I was just saying this on the last call that I was speaking to a new friend of mine. It's typically going to take about 5 years and a lot of growing pains for you to understand how this all works unless you have a mentor, unless you have a coach, unless you have someone that's going to train you. right? And then it's up to you to take the information that you're being trained and then put it into practical application and actually use it, right? So that being said, I saw this tool suite and I was like, okay, well, they have these people that we call them nerds, non-offensively, we call them lovingly, we call them nerds. And then if I needed anything done, and because of my time constraints and schedule, that if I really needed something done, I could ask them to do it. If it was a website, I could ask them to do it. If it was an email campaign, I could ask them to do it. So immediately I was able to have help, right? Then I found out that I could build these websites out. And because of my experience before, I dove in and I started learning the tools and the tool suite and how it worked. And what I like to say is I pretended like it was a brand new car. I clicked all of the buttons to see what everything did so that I understood. It was again going back to my childhood of tearing things apart so I knew how things worked. Then I just started implementing how they worked. Okay. And in essence, that's the key is learning, then implementing, and then gathering up whatever you learn and then sharing it with other people can be that simple. But if you have a tool suite that helps you do all that, obviously it's going to be a lot easier. So last July, back in Vegas, I went there live because they were launching what we called are called well, we calling it My AI. I'm sorry, what was it? It's My AI now. It was something AI before. I was there for the launch and just seeing Justin up on stage and the information that they were sharing literally blew our socks off to where we were throwing socks at the company owner. It was a great event. It was just absolutely amazing. One of the best events that I've ever been to. And that's where we were introduced to artificial intelligence. And I just got to quickly say, I'm a fan of technology. I always have been, right? Especially when it came to the internet and everything else, right? There's something about technology that's always going to be not necessarily a bad thing. People might look at it as a bad thing. And maybe it might be a bad thing in the long term. But when things start going, there's nothing wrong with embracing change, is what I'm getting at, right? So we have to understand that as technology comes and as technology changes, we either have to adapt or we're going to get left behind. When you look at the world of artificial intelligence and what's happening now, you can see that it's progressing if you're paying attention. And in fact, it's progressing faster than what anybody ever even expected. Now, we're not at that point to where it's sentient and it's thinking by itself and nothing scary like that. Okay. The artificial intelligence that I'm talking about is more so the ability to clone yourself, but not in that crazy clone way. The way that we like to put it is to have a digital doppelganger of yourself. So you train this artificial intelligence and you train it how you speak, right? You train it a lot about yourself. And then that will help you create content for social media. And in fact, why don't I just stop talking about it and let me share my screen and show you? How's that sound? Probably better. So here is, once I move everything out of the way, now side. Okay. So this is my back office here. Everything's live. I'm going to be very careful with what I do share. However, at the same token, for YouTube and anybody else that might be watching, all of these names and anything that you may see on this particular video are all public information, just FYI. Okay. So when you first get started with Now Site and the My AI, the first thing that's going to happen is you're going to have the ability to train your artificial intelligence, as I had mentioned to you before. Okay. In fact, they moved it. So you're going to teach it all about you. You're going to put your first name, last name, if nickname, if you have one, job title, what drew you to what it is that you're doing now, what information that you would like to share about your family. You can get as deep as you want to. We're not sitting back here trying to find out and scrutinize everything that you did in the past. Okay. It's all contained information. It's not going to be used against you. Okay. A few facts about stories about your background, culture, or heritage, any kind of upcoming events that you want to share. Then you have a think like me portion where you can add or subtract different things that you like as far as interests. You can add or subtract popular figures, add or subtract favorite books, movies, music, or sports. Now, all of this is in an essence to be able to have more of a dialect that's coming from this artificial intelligence that sounds more like you, right? So that it's not just artificial, it's not um, personal. It's very personal. And the more that you put in here, the more personal it can get. The beautiful thing about this, right, is that it's got a long-term memory on it. So those of you kids that are out there playing with ChatGPT, um, and thinking that it's great. It's great. This is a dedicated line of ChatGPT as well, but it's on steroids because we've got this long-term memory. So it'll remember everything that you post. And as you add to this and you use the tool, it's going to start learning comprehensively more about you. And the messages that come out will be more clear and more like you. When it comes to the writing style, you're going to be able to choose how you want your writing style to be. You can dial up the humor, dial up the emojis, right? You can be informal or formal, really depends on how you feel. You can even put special instructions in here. And then even style descriptors. You can put in as an example, let's say I want to be more like Eric Worre, right? Um, oh, you know what? I just added him. So the descriptors, I think I'm doing wrong, actually. This changed and I didn't see the update for it. But anyway, I've got style descriptors in here showing that it's personal, professional, persuasive, charming, insightful, engaging, and friendly. Okay. And then what's going to happen is it's going to spit out your story, a little bit more about your branding. It's going to spit out a slogan for yourself. It's going to give you a story based off of what you told it. And it's also going to give you a personality analysis that you're able to share. Right. So that's just the beginning of the cool stuff. Now, once you have this and you're in the back office here, you have what's called this daily checklist. If you're going through and you're at a specific level on here and you have the CRM and you're putting contacts in, you have the ability to set your follow-ups with your contacts, which comes in handy because following up is the most important part, right? I know that those of you watching probably going to say yes, but you probably aren't that great at follow-up, right? So this is going to help you with your follow-up. When you put information in there, you put in a specific contact, put in their information and set it for a specific time. It will literally pop up here underneath your daily checklist. And it will tell you, as it tells me, what I need to do for my day every morning when I wake up and I come in here to work. Okay. So it'll tell me everything here. Now, it also gives me the ability to be what we call a social media star in 3 easy steps. To be that social media star, what are we talking about? Talking about teaching you how to be self-confident, number one. Number two, trustworthy. Number three, authentic, because we need to be authentic. And ultimately, we need to be relatable. So that's the STAR system. Self-confident, trustworthy, authentic, and relatable. Within these 3 social media steps, right? Number one, we could post on social media. Number two, we can comment on posts. Number three, we can start a conversation. So this is geared to help those of us that especially do not have the skill set of communication at the level that you need it to be at. There's nothing wrong with asking for help, guys. Problem is many of us just don't want to ask for help because then we think bad about ourselves. That's not the case. If you ask for help, that makes you a strong person. Doesn't make you a weak person. So inside of this start conversation, one thing that many people don't know, and you may or may not have heard of his name, but there's a gentleman out there, very big influencer, well-known network marketer, right? Lots of people know and love this guy. His name is Ray Higdon. So as this artificial intelligence advanced, we were able to strike a deal or have a conversation, however you want to put it, with Ray Higdon, building out this technology in which Ray like downloaded tons and tons of information about his style, how he teaches, how he coaches, how he even answers objections, right? So he's in the background there to help with conversations. Fast forward, Eric Worre, if you haven't heard of his name, you might want to Google that guy, another leader and influencer in the network marketing space, became part of NowScience. With that, we ended up what we're having now as these leader avatars. Okay. So I want to just quickly show you Eric AI. And this is Eric AI. So not only will you have the benefit and the help and the assistance of Ray Higdon in the background creating chats, and I'll show you some of that here in a moment. You also have the ability to have Eric Worre as like your personal assistant, your personal avatar that you can ask a question at any time, 24 hours a day. He never gets tired, and he probably will never get sick of you either. So quick little demonstration of that. Hey, Eric, I am on a live. I am on a live stream right now, showing everyone the world of NowScience. What would you like to tell a live audience? This should be fun. And click go. So if you have any questions at any point in time, business related, personal, I don't know how personal he will get with you. But the same thing that happened with Ray happened with Eric, to where he downloaded tons of information. Right now, he's thinking he's going to talk to us. One moment, please. He's gathering his thoughts. And then.
Hello, everyone. It's great to connect with all of you on this live stream. Remember, in the network marketing profession, we have a better way. Now go out there and show the world what entrepreneurs like you can do with the incredible tools you have at your disposal. Embrace the power of NowScience and the opportunity it presents. Dream big, take action, and never stop learning, because your future is created by what you do today, not tomorrow. Make the most of it.
I don't know about you, but I think that's pretty cool. So not only can you come to him at any time, right? But they also send you out daily or weekly messages, and he will interact with you, getting the juices flowing, getting topics of conversation thought out, to spark more of imagination to help you get where it is that you want to get. Okay. So I wanted to show you that real quickly because I think it's neat. So that's in the top section here, which is the My AI portion of it. So when it comes to posting on social media, I'm going to show you real quickly. We're going to do a bunch of things very fast so that I can show you how quickly and how easy it is to manage some of your social media without having to spend hours at a time in front of your computer doing useless, meaningful tasks when you can focus on more important things, such as income generating tasks, such as having conversations, right? So we know that in this world of social networking, the big thing that we need to, the big word that everybody should be screaming from the top of their lungs is the word reciprocity. I know many people don't get it, they don't understand it. And I understand because of my experience. I get it that you don't get it, especially on Facebook. Facebook mostly, because of its algorithms. If you want to be seen, it's important that you're going to have to go and reciprocate and go out there and like or love other people's posts and even comment on them. Okay. So we always teach and say it's if you're going to go post in the morning and make sure that you warm up the algorithm. So for about 10 to 15, maybe even 20 minutes before you do your first post, you should be out there on social media, liking, loving, and commenting. This is going to help you do that in a flash with a lot of people. Okay. So number two should be number one because we should be commenting on posts first, but that's neither here nor there. Let's go with post number one here with number one step. When it goes to create a social post, now mind you, it's taken into effect all the information that I already trained my artificial intelligence on, so that anything that comes out of here is going to be more suited to what I would be saying. I have utmost control, 100% control over what is posted. Nothing is posted out there without my consent, without me physically posting it and saying go. Okay. So I don't take that equation out. So there's 6 different things that you're going to see here that I'm going to show you quickly. Okay. There's caption and suggested image. There's short text only post, long post suggested image, caption my image, and also caption my video. So caption and suggested image is exactly that. It's going to give us a suggested image powered by artificial intelligence and the caption to go with it. If I have a picture and I just need a caption for that picture, I'm going to use the caption my image portion. Same thing with caption my video. If I have a video for, let's say, TikTok or YouTube or any other little video channel. If I'm only looking for just a short text only post, I can use this one here. And then if I want something that's more of a storyboard type thing, long post and suggested image, I'll use this one. And then if I don't know what the heck I want because I haven't had my morning coffee and it's too early to think, I got this beautiful magenta surprise me button. Now, this one a lot of people love, but you're going to learn and love all of these different tools once you get the understanding and you, like me, start taking everything apart, pressing all the buttons and see how everything works. But I'm just going to show you real quickly the surprise me button. When I click on that, there's no thought that I have to worry about and stressing over, oh, what content am I going to show? The other thing that I used to have a problem with too is working on all these different social media platforms. I didn't want to go out there and put the same content on each one. You know what I mean? Because part of that, right? If you've been around for social network for a while, well, when Instagram came out, we told our Facebook followers to follow us on Instagram, right? Or when LinkedIn was out, we said the same thing. So you have the same crowd of people is what I'm getting at in a lot of those social networks if you come through the ranks like myself, right? But so as I was sitting there boring you to death with my conversation, look what happened. Boom. The artificial intelligence came up with a post for me that I can post. If you see up here, I can use this on Facebook. And if I switch it to Instagram, it's going to change slightly. I'll show you that in a second. Same thing with Instagram, because it's going to tailor more towards the audience of the social platform that you're posting on. Same thing with X, right? There's only so many characters that you can post. But here's what we're going to do, right? Here's what it says. Ah, the sweet taste of victory after a grueling match with adversity. We've all danced in that thunderstorm of challenges. Tell me, what's your triumph story? How did you turn the tide and come out stronger? Flex your resilient muscles below. Now, I don't really like this one, so we're going to change it a little bit. And all I had to do is I had to click this little AI button down here. With that, I can fix the spelling and grammar, which I never see. I can make it shorter. I can make it longer. I can change the tone, change the language. All of these languages are supported, right? So I want to say, let's make this about the live demonstration. Demonstration. We are on now, showing the world now site. And I'm going to hit regenerate because I want this post to be a reflection of what it is that I'm trying to get out there, right? So it says, just experience that exhilarating moment of success and it showcase capabilities during a live demonstration on Now site. We've all navigated those stormy seas of trials, haven't we? Share with us your story of conquest. When have you faced obstacles and emerged? Okay, so this is asking, real quick note, here's a gold nugget for you guys. This is asking too many questions and it's getting too deep. Okay. Don't ask. So what I want to do is reword. You can dial this in however you want to do it. Reword, remove questions, add call to action to say hello if you caught the live stream. Okay, we're going to change that. And we're going to change this image as well. We're going to go and we're going to use the artificial intelligence. We're going to say live stream. We're going to click search. Now I can use my images as well. There's also an image editor there so that I can mess with some of the images that I have, or I can do an image search and or team images that I've already uploaded. So here's some pictures that the artificial intelligence pops out. Let's go with, let's see if I find something that I like here. Live stream, and it's actually a stream. Yeah, there you go. Let's do something like this. There you go. I like that one. We hit edit image. One thing you're going to notice is it'll pop up in here to the image editor. I can crop that if I need to. I can add text to the image. In this case, we're not going to add any text. We're just going to add it over here. Pops in here. Here's my message. Just experience an exhilarating moment of success after showcasing our capabilities during a live demonstration of Now site. We've all faced obstacles and emerged stronger, haven't we? Share your triumph story. Let's see the resilience in action. Okay, so we're going to take this. We're going to change it up a little bit when we post. But I want you to also see that right here, I can use my AI profile or not. I can use my AI writing style or not. I can have it have a specific objective, right? Just like what I was showing you here. I can change that tone. Okay. Same thing as changing the tone here. And then I can also have a business profile that I set up at the very beginning. Okay. And I can talk about what I wanted. So if I want to change it, I can change it here as well as in here. I also have the ability to do a compliance check, which I think is absolutely stunning. I can click this compliance check, which is something that was recently added. And I can see, oh, of course, it's not going to work for me on a live demonstration. I can technically, it's going to work. When it does, it's going to tell me what the risk is. Okay. And then I can decide what to do to change it. So as I mentioned before, if I go and I change this, it's going to be slightly different. If I want to use this and post on Instagram, then it would be on LinkedIn, and same thing with Twitter or X, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead. We're going to use this one that we have, but we're going to change it up a little bit. I'm going to click on get started. You're going to notice that it just popped up. I downloaded the picture just went right to my download images. It gives me all of the instructions right here. It says post to Facebook, go to post Facebook, create a new post, paste the text, add image from your downloads folder. Many times we don't read what's right in front of our face. So it gives us all the directions. I click post and it's going to immediately send me right to Facebook so that I can follow the directions that it said. Copy and paste my text, grab my picture right from my downloads folder, right? Here's the Facebook image one. Click open, there it is. Now, I never want to go and just post something like this all smushed together like that because number one, if your reader, if you don't give your reader some space to read things, it can cause what I like to call disinterest in the brain. And it can literally be preventing people from even reading your post. Okay. I can't tell you how important this is to pay attention to that part. So I'm always going to break my post up, especially on Facebook, right about where those periods come in. And I want it to be like line by line. It's bit by bit. How do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time, right? So I want to be able to tell a story, one sentence or one storyline at a time, so that I keep my user engaged in reading that story and ultimately get them through the entire story. So here we go, just experience an exhilarating moment of success after showcasing live demonstration of Now Site. Possibly going to emerge stronger, haven't we? All right. Now is the time to be even stronger with the right tool suite. Okay, we're going to break that up. Period, period, period. Now, here's another little golden nugget for those of you guys that are watching on the replay. Okay. And especially those of you watching live. I have found on Facebook that if I include 3 hashtags with my post, that it will also help me get new followers for those specific hashtags. But you don't want to just use any hashtags. You want to use hashtags that are relevant to your post and those that are high ranked. So if you see here, it gave me this Triumph Talks. And if I put my cursor at the end, it tells me this one has fewer than 1,000 posts. So I don't want to use that. But if I go back this thing off a little bit to Triumph, maybe I might be able to use something here. And I don't see, that's Triumph Motorcycles. I don't want to use that. That's only 5,000 plus, right? So we're not going to use that one at all. Now, it does say obstacles here, right? So let me go look and see what obstacles is. Obviously, there's going to be a lot of posts, right? So here's an example here, 365,000 posts or hashtags of obstacles. So I'm going to use that, something that's, again, high rated. Now I'm going to check my second one. If I click my little cursor here on the end and I don't see anything, I'm going to delete the last letter and then type in the last letter to see if anything pops up. And as you can see here, 1,000 or less. We're not going to use that hashtag. So we're going to stay with resilient. And look at that, 2.6 million posts. Boom. We're going to use that one. Now we do the same thing with NowSite Live Success. I don't see anything coming up at all for that. So let's try, nope, nothing for live, nothing fewer than 1,000 for live success. So we're going to go hashtag live. Live streaming. There you go. Boom. Okay. So we say just experience an exhilarating moment of success after showcasing our capabilities during a live demonstration of NowSite. We've all faced obstacles and emerged stronger, haven't we? Now is the time to be even stronger with the right tool suite. Separate that. Check all my spacing, my commas. Let's see that resilience in action right here, right now. If you caught the live stream, say hello. Okay. So there's my post. Click next and boom. I can post that to multiple pages if you have those set up. And that is that. Now, if I want to, I can go and I can use this in the same fashion and I can click over to Instagram. Once I hit get started, watch what's going to happen. The same thing. Boom. Picture is going to go up there into my downloads. It's going to give me all the directions that nobody reads. I click post. It's going to take me right to Instagram so that I can post. So it's boom, 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 boom. I'm going slow because I'm explaining this to you. If I wasn't explaining this to you, I can literally do this within the matter of 2 to 5 minutes. Okay. So now I go here, create, right? I want to do a post, just like it said. Select from computer. It's going to open up. Here's my Instagram, same picture, either way. I click next. And you know, if you're familiar with Instagram, you can do whatever you want on here. We can make it moon color. We can make it Aiden, do all this other fun stuff. I'm not into all that. And then boom. The caption is already there on our clipboard for us. So it already copied it once we hit post. It copied it for us. So now we just double check. Ah, that sweet, sweet flavor of victory washing over me after battle royale with trials. This is because it knows that I like to play Fortnite, right? Makes it personal. Each of us has boogied through that moonshine monsoon of hurdles, right? So spill it. What's your epic win tale? What's the playbook on flipping the script and leveling up your strength? Now, this to me is too deep of a question. Okay. Show off your badass bounce back game right here. Okay, so we're going to change that. Let's see. Uh, how many years did it take you? Okay. So if you ask a question and a person doesn't have to think a lot about it, you'll get more comments. People will comment more. But if you ask too deep of a question, people aren't going to answer. Now, Triumph Talks thing, I'm going to look for things that are more searched. Let's use hurdles. There you go, 544,000. Resilience revolution, that's not enough. Let's go to resilience. There you go. Boom, boom, boom. Let's go hashtag live stream. Boom. Okay. That's it. Share. Done. Again, this is taking some time because I'm explaining it to you. I'm changing some of the words only because I'm looking for a specific direction, right? That's done. Boom. Same thing. See, I get some stars. Go to LinkedIn, same thing, right? Click get started. There's the directions. Nobody reads. I hit post. Go in here. Boom, boom, boom. Start a post. Paste what's there. Add my picture. There's my LinkedIn image. Right? I'm gonna go back though. There's nothing quite like these tastes of success as navigating complex and life's challenges. Dance staff is returned to temporary obstacles, aren't we? We're gonna hear about your monumental triumphs. How did you rewrite the narrative and enhance your own resilience? I invite you to share your strategies and struggles for a spectacular comeback. That won't get a lot. I'm going to tell you that right now. Go check on these again. Triumph. Now, these here on LinkedIn, they don't tell you what the searches are. So try to consider the ones that you've used already. Hashtag live stream. There you go. Add the picture. There's the picture. Double click. Next. And post. Okay. Boom. That's done. Now, if I want to go to Twitter X, boom. Same thing, click get started. There's the directions, nobody reads, click post. It's going to pop me right over to Twitter. Paste. Okay, we see we're going to have to take these off because it's a little too long. All right. Taste the sweet victory of conquering life's maze. We've all waltzed through the same storm of trials. Tell me about your epic wins. How did you vote the script and build resilience? Share your comeback tactics. Let's swap tales of our unyielding spirit. All right. Posts. Now, each one of those posts were different, slightly different. The text that was there, the message that was there, the pictures were the same. And normally I would say change their pictures on each one, but for demonstration purposes, we're going to roll with the same thing. And just like that, 4 social medias are done. If I'm doing a video, right, it's going to be a little bit different because it's going to be like underneath this caption my video portion, right? And I already have the video itself, so I need to be clear on what it is that the video says, and it'll give me the same thing, and I can take and use that text itself for captioning the video, whether it's on TikTok or any other channel. And in fact, because of this artificial intelligence, it copies right to your clipboard. So you can paste it and use it anywhere. You can use it in any social media. You can use it in Alignable, Me, whatever else is out there. Muster Us soon to come. Shameless plug. Right? So that's that portion of it. Number 2, comment on posts. This makes it super simple for you to go and comment on other people's posts. So as you're going through and you see somebody's posted there, remember we were talking about that keyword reciprocation, right? So we could go and find a post that's online. Here's one from our buddy Mick Karshner here. You're in the spotlight, Mick. Be authentically you. The AI generated posts I'm seeing on here are lame. My 2 cents. Ready? I love this. Perfect. Yeah, they can be lame, brother. They can be super lame. Once you got the right system and you're saying the right things. So Mick, we're just gonna go put this right over here. Right? M-I-C-K. Mick posted. And I'm not even gonna say what I want it to be about, but boom, I'm gonna click generate. And boom. Couldn't agree more, Mick. The genuine you always shines the brightest. No AI can match that sparkle. Keep keeping it real. And as you see up here, if it was on the different platforms, it's going to change it slightly based off of that platform. Totally on board with that, Mick. Your authenticity shines, right? LinkedIn, slightly different. Twitter X, slightly different. YouTube, slightly different. So no matter what you're using, you can use this to help you reply or write a message. In this case, we're going to go ahead, we're going to copy this right here. And we're going to see how Mick loves it. See if Mick comes back with a with a love or a like on that, right? Especially since we're doing it live. All right, now back to where we were. So that's commenting on other people's posts and then starting a conversation. This is the thing that I told you about earlier that Ray Higdon had a huge part in, and you have the ability to have Ray Higdon in the background helping you as well. So you can start a conversation to help you comment on a social media post. Maybe it's a cold outreach, right? You can find out what your objective is, whether it's build rapport, present, connect, follow up, book meeting, close a sale, or create urgency. You can include your business profile and then add any additional instructions. You can change the language, whatever you want to do. In this case, what we're going to do is because this was set like this, right? We're going to come over here. I'm just going to do a real quick little refresh. We're going to go over here. And let's say, actually, let's do this. Let's do one quick little thing. we're going to use the help me reply portion. This part is pretty cool because you have objectives in here, right? So you have what I just showed you there, and then you also have this here to help you reply. This, in fact, is more so related to Ray Higdon as well. So friendly chat, no business. You can select your profile or not, no profile. And you can literally copy and paste whatever it is that you want to talk about right in here, and it will help you reply. The other thing this is good for is like birthdays, right? This is good for shifting to business. It'll help you shift to business. Offer to send a video, get on a call, invite to a presentation, meet in person. All you're doing really is just putting in the conversations and selecting what your objective is, clicking a button, and it's going to give you your outcome of things to say to help you. Okay. Now, that is pretty much what I wanted to show you guys. We're already hitting 1 hour. I didn't want to go over an hour, but unfortunately, there's a lot of stuff to cover in here. That is just the My AI portion. And the beautiful part about this is that if I can get where I'm supposed to be here, let me stop sharing my screen here. And then let me come over here. And then let me get here. And then let me get, oh, what's going on here? Bear with me 1 second. Looking for that. Oh, here it is. Here it is. Here it is. Let's see if I can pull this up. One moment, please. Bear with me. I'm using a new software, so it's a little challenging, but we'll get through this. There is a way, I know, somewhere in here. Hopefully I'm not ruining my stream. Oh. Okay. Let's see if this works. All right. Double check here, go to Facebook, make sure this is working. So on the screen, I don't know if you see it or not. Nope, doesn't look like you do. So on the screen, I actually had a coupon code that you're able to try this out free for 7 days. For some reason, because of the fact that this is a new software and I don't know what I'm doing when it comes to this new software, I don't see that it's popping up on the live. So what that means is this. If you want to try this software out for 7 days, if you're watching this on Facebook, you're going to want to get with me on Messenger and say, hey, I want a 7-day free trial of it. If you're watching on YouTube, you're going to want to go down into the description section and click on the link that is there so that you can go directly to it. Get a 7-day free trial. Try the tools out so you see how they work. I didn't even go into the CRM portion of it. I didn't even go into the website building of it. I didn't even go into the content section. I didn't even go into the personality profiles. I didn't go into a lot of stuff, guys. And part of that is because, again, I respect your time and I didn't want to go too much more than an hour. There's a lot of stuff in here, guys. And I'm telling you, it will help you tremendously with your business growth. Whether it's posting on social media or whether it's creating lead capture pages and funnels that you need to build your list of potential buyers. This is a tool suite that I really wish would have been out 18 years ago, I want to say, when I first started my internet marketing journey. But as we know, things transpire, right? They take time. As technology happens, new things come about. And this is not a new company, guys. This is a company that's been out there for 7 years. They've been working and developing and perfecting the strategies to help any network marketer that's out there. So we're not even a competition for your company. We're here to help you build your business, whatever business it is, whatever company it is. It doesn't matter. These tools will definitely help you. So with that being said, I'm going to stop the live streaming. Those of you guys that were joining me live, we will keep it open for a few minutes for Q&A. Appreciate you all watching. I trust that you got some value. And again, if you like what you saw, just reach out. If you didn't, you're not going to hurt my feelings. I've had them surgically removed. So on that note, have a blessed day. Happy Saturday. We'll see you on the next one. Toot toot. Love you.